Hello, I'm Jessica Rogers and I am a leadership and executive coach, and I work with bold and ambitious leaders who want to innovate and who want to thrive personally and professionally as well. And so today I'm going to talk to you about how you thrive in that ever-changing work environment. So in today's world, many of us want to do work that offers us flexibility, that gives us work-life balance. And if you're a business owner, you want to be doing work that really attracts the best talent. But actually trying to do this can bring with it some challenges and some obstacles that can bring some difficulties in building the right team culture that you really want. So I'm going to share with you today some top tips and strategies for really helping you and your team to thrive in this new world of work, specifically when it comes to hybrid working, because hybrid working feels like the way that most people want to work now, particularly to retain that flexibility and that work-life balance that we all crave so much. So my first tip around thriving in a hybrid working environment is to really think about how you create that sense of belonging and purpose no matter where people are working. So I think first and foremost, it's important that everybody is clear on your company values. Okay, so not just the values that are written down or that appear on your website, but the values of your team and how you want to work together and how you want to thrive together. And those are set and initiated by you as the leader. And so it's important not just to talk about the values, but actually walk your talk as well. Think about how your behavior embodies those values that you are trying to maintain and trying to get across to those people that are working for you and with you. Also find ways, when you're thinking about that cohesion, you're thinking about that sense of belonging and shared purpose, think about innovative ways that you can get together as a team. When you've got people working in different locations, sometimes that can feel quite difficult, but there are innovative ways that you can get together, not just in person, but online as well. So be really intentional about how you can bring your team together, your people together online, so that people feel that they've got that strong sense of connection, that strong sense of belonging, that strong sense of shared purpose. Really, it's important that people don't feel isolated. So think about the ways that you can help people to not feel isolated. Think about the ways that you can use online to really retain that sense of belonging and that sense of togetherness. My second tip is around clear communication. Like sort of clear and inclusive communication. So, there are things around setting your expectations very clearly from the outset around how people show up at meetings. So if you're doing online meetings, you want people to keep their cameras on, for example, talk about how that makes everyone feel and how people feel about making sure that you're all meeting a set of expectations for meetings. Now, of course, that's not always going to be comfortable for everybody, but have those conversations and have that communication up front. So people know what to expect when they join online meetings. And similarly, when you're thinking about responding to requests, set some clear guidelines around how requests are supposed to, or you want requests to be responded to. So if it's within a specific timeline, if it's in a specific way, set that up very clearly. Make sure that there are no grey areas. And alongside that, with communication, have regular check-ins as a team to really think about how people are responding to the expectations. Make sure people's voices are heard, because in that communication you can get some really valuable feedback. And when you get that feedback, be sure to act on the feedback as well. So encourage people to communicate, encourage people to show up, encourage people to get their voices heard, so that you're building an environment where everybody feels heard and where you can meet each other's expectations. Now, of course, there are going to be company expectations that have to be met as well. But if these have been communicated from the outset, This is the way that you can build a real sort of two-way exchange of communication, and you can build an environment where people feel heard and people feel understood as well, which is really key to making those hybrid working environments really work. My third tip is around creative collaboration, which ties in with the communication. So in terms of creative collaboration, think about the digital tools that you are using. Make the most of those wonderful collaboration tools that are out there, which really allow for us to share information in a quick way, for us to update documents, live documents, to make sure that we're always working off the live and up-to-date versions of all sorts of documents. So look at your collaboration tools that you're using and think about how you can ensure that everybody, wherever they're working, feels they're able to access these tools and access these documents to really make your work run smoothly. And also think about the tools that you're using for meetings as well. Are those tools that you're using or platforms that you're using sufficiently collaborative and sufficiently user-friendly as well? Which leads me nicely to tip number 4, ensuring that you equip your team with the right technology. Now, that might sound like a bit of a no-brainer, but technology can really make or break your hybrid working experience. So really make sure that your employees have the right tools that they can work, or your team members can have the right tools that they can work remotely, but also work in person as well. And that's everything from the hardware to the software that you're all using as a team as well. There's nothing worse than an ineffective laptop or a camera that doesn't work or a microphone that stops working just as you're about to, make that important point or that really valuable point in the middle of a team meeting or a team discussion. So, really try to think about ensuring that people do regularly appraise any technology that they're using, and also that you've got the right technology support, a system in place so that people can get the right technology support in a timely and efficient way. And then it leads to my final point around hybrid working. We know that with hybrid working, challenges will arise with any type of working. Challenges will always arrive. And whilst hybrid working has many benefits, there are always drawbacks, new drawbacks, which come up from time to time. So what I really encourage you to do as leaders is to really think about the feedback that you get from your team members. Keep people regularly informed of any changes. Give people the environment where they want to share what's going on for them, what's working, what's not working. And when you get feedback, actually actively act on that feedback as well. Don't make any assumptions. Don't leave things unsaid. As I said with point 1, make sure that you minimize grey areas. And also encourage those regular check-ins. So of course, as a team, you probably have your regular check-ins for your day-to-day work, but actually set some time aside to have check-ins for your employee well-being as well. When you ask how somebody is, actually ask them how they are and listen to what the response is. Don't make it a throwaway "how are you" question that just sort of falls by the wayside. Actually listen to the response and try and act on it where possible as well. So the key to really thriving in these new ways of working, specifically hybrid working, is around communication, it's around collaboration, and it's around the culture that you create. So, think about those things, think about the tips I've shared, and think about other ways in which you can ensure that your team are effective, they are communicating well, and they're collaborative, and you're creating a really wonderful, inclusive environment.